So MAGA is turning on Trump. Voters seem to be massively regretting voting for Donald Trump, with many people taking to TikTok showing their guilt.
I mean, 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.
Now, many in the comments are saying that they don't really regret their vote, but rather the things they thought would only happen to other people are happening to them. For example, immigrants voting for Trump thinking he's only going to go after undocumented migrants, but it turns out they were the target too. And if I'm honest, I think that's true. Most voters will vote for their own interests, and when they realise they are included in the attacks, of course they're going to think again. Now, we could attack and shame these people, and, I don't think you would be completely unjustified, but whether that's productive or not is a different story. I mean, we on the left have been saying when they attack one group, they will eventually attack you, unless you're a rich person in the US, they are going to come after you. If you're a minority, they will come after you. If you're white, working class, or poor, you will not be protected for being white. They hate your class. The administration is going after the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, one of the few decent institutions that take on fraud, and it's given billions and billions of dollars back to the working class. The tax cuts they talk about, they only benefit the wealthy, and they're actually increasing taxes on those who earn less than $300,000 per year. Now, do people also remember this?
Eggs, when Kamala Harris took office, were short of $1.50 a dozen. Now a dozen eggs will cost you around $4 thanks to Kamala Harris's inflationary policies. Pennsylvania actually has seen some of the worst grocery price increases of the entire nation, and again, it's because she cast the deciding vote on the Inflation Explosion Act. I think we want Pennsylvanians to be able to afford groceries. We want our young families to be able to buy food at a reasonable price at the grocery store, and the only way to do that is to get back to common sense economic policies and fire Kamala Harris. This is a person who's presided over a $1,000 increase in monthly expenses. Just to afford the same life you could have afforded 3.5 years ago, it costs you over $1,000 a month here in Pennsylvania. We can do so much better. We certainly will. And as the father of a couple of kids who eat a whole lot, we certainly need to do better for the next generation. God bless you guys.
So the price of eggs was a big feature of the campaign, and that was J.D. Vance attacking the Democrats for allowing eggs to rise to $4 in some places. Well, some people are paying $15. The policies from Trump are actively hurting ordinary people. We even have famous MAGA people turning on Trump. MMA fighter Sean Strickland says, "Man, if Trump keeps this BS up, I'm going to start waving a Palestinian flag. American cities are shitholes, and you want to go spend billions on this dumpster fire? Did we make a mistake? This ain't America first." Yeah, they all made a mistake. One of the biggest myths of Trump is that he's America first. He has never been America first. He, like every other president, regardless of political party, is an establishment shill sticking to the Washington foreign policy orthodoxy. He's Israel first, doing the bidding of Zionists. He wants to ethnically cleanse Gaza and then use American taxpayers' money to rebuild it just for Israelis. Now, I'm not a nationalist, but the right and the far right pretend they are nationalists. They're not. They are bankrolled by AIPAC, or in the UK, they either have money from the Israeli lobby or just Zionist supporters. Now, if you're someone who thought, well, Trump's a nationalist, you should be asking, why is your money being spent on rebuilding Gaza? Now, for those of us on the left, we are internationalists. I support foreign aid to countries who, actually need it. That doesn't include Israel. I support my money going to Gaza. We actually have an obligation. Since we helped fund the genocide and destruction of Gaza, we should pay to fix it. And then all the Palestinians return home because it's rightfully their homeland. MAGA people, Trump voters, they've been conned. They've been lied to. And if you're watching who's on the political right, who supports reform and voted for them in the last election, they will be exactly the same. You think their anti-migrant rhetoric means they're going to put you first? You think they give a shit about the British working class? Because I've got a bridge to sell you. Many Reform MPs support Israel. You can guarantee that our money will continue to go to them. But their real constituent, just like Trump and the GOP, is the billionaire class. Farage recently came out and said he supports abolishing the inheritance tax, which only affects the richest 4% of the country. So just because Labour are a complete failure, just because they took loads of corporate money and they're corrupt and they're on the side of capital, doesn't mean Reform are the alternative, because they are the same as Labour and the Tories. They're just a bit more extreme versions of them. I mean, yes, the big difference between Labour and Reform are their climate policies, but economic policies, they're all Thatcherites. On immigration, well, Labour have been putting out migration raid videos. It's disgusting to show how tough they are. That's who the right wing are. So I'm not surprised that people are regretting voting for Trump, because he's a con artist and all he cares about are the billionaire class.
Support independent media. Support social justice that's there on social media. Thank you. Turn left.